Hello, I'm Carissa Panuzza with the Center for Family Healing, and today I would like to talk to you about body safety for children. Of course, this does apply to adults, but this is specifically how to teach children body safety. Kind of the whole good touch, bad touch, who can I trust, stranger danger, all of those things. So there are several things that children need to be taught when they are learning how to keep themselves safe, because they can't always rely on adults. Where parents can't always be there, teachers can't always be there. There are just moments where kids are on their own or in a situation where maybe a trusted adult actually turns out not to be trusted. And these are some tools that you can give them so that they can have as much chance as they possibly can to understand things that shouldn't happen and how they can get help and not succumb to shame that somebody who might try to perpetrate abuse on them might get them caught in. And another place would be when children play with children, because there's a lot of abuse between children nowadays. Sleepovers upstairs when the parents are downstairs, whatever. And that's not to say that children shouldn't be allowed to have that unsupervised time. It's just let them do it, be aware, give them these tools. So the tools that I'm talking about right now are this concept of my body is my body and it's mine. So the way that you can teach a child this is, if they don't want to hug or kiss a relative, don't make them. It's their body. Because what we do when we make children, even if it's like a social thing, like, oh, go hug grandma. Grandma really wants a hug. If we force the child to do that, even though they're feeling shy that day, or they just don't want to, or for whatever reason, it really doesn't matter. They have their own opinion and choice, and that's okay. If we force that, what we're teaching them is you don't matter. The way that you feel doesn't matter. And that's not a message that we want to give kids, especially because they are so vulnerable to adults. Some person who's not as sweet and wonderful as grandma might take advantage of that, and they might think, well, I have to hug grandma, so I probably have to do what this grown-up wants me to do, even though I don't want to. And that's just not a message that we want to give kids. So I know there might be some hurt feelings out there from some family members who might be a bit old school in this, but you know what? That's okay. It's better to have a safe kid, and those people are grown-ups. They can handle themselves. Just back your kid up. And, maybe they could do a fist bump or a high five. Maybe they could just wave, and you can really smooth it over with the adult and say, what, today he just wants to wave, and that's fine. And then just don't make a big deal over it, and I don't think the other person will too. And if they do, again, that's kind of their issue. The next thing is to teach your children about secrets. I like this phrase, and there's actually a book. I'm going to show you a handout here in a moment that I got from the website that makes this book, that says some secrets should never be kept. And that's actually the title of this book, which I very much like. And it's this idea of anything that makes you feel yucky, uncomfortable, sick to your stomach, or anything that somebody said, don't tell mom and dad. Those are secrets that shouldn't be kept. So if a secret makes you feel bad, tell it. So that's a phrase that I'll use in my home with my boys. They're 3 and 5, and I just say some secrets should never be kept. Or if I see that one of them is kind of holding something back, I'll ask it, are you feeling yucky about something? Is there something that you're not telling me and it's making you feel kind of sick? And usually they'll say yeah, and then they'll tell me. And thankfully there's not been anything big, but even with some of their little friends, there's a couple times where, someone will say, show me your private parts, and my boys don't want to do that, and I think most children don't want to unless they've been exposed to something and have been taught something. They're children. They don't really quite understand. But they'll tell me then, and usually they'll tell me right away, because we talk about these things a lot at home, thankfully. But it's just a thing to tell kids. Some secrets should never be kept. It's not an issue of loyalty or disloyalty. This is safety. Another thing is private parts. Teach the areas under the bathing suit. Those are private parts, and they are special, and we take really special care of them, and they are private. So I kind of like to frame it in special, because then it's not a shaming thing. Lots of times people will shame private parts And it's just not a good habit to get into, because there's nothing to be ashamed of. Everybody is sexual. We all have sexuality, even children, because they do have private parts. And just talking about how those are private parts, we need to keep them to ourselves. If you need help getting clean, that's fine. Otherwise, nobody else should be looking at them or touching them. There's the doctor too, and just make sure that mom and dad are with you when you go to the doctor, and that's an opportunity. Well, not an opportunity, but a time when it's okay. But only allow the doctor to see them when I'm with you, and things like that. So the next thing is having a safety network, and I will show the rest of this handout in a second. But right here, you can see this hand, and so you can have your hand. Okay, 5 trusted adults. So help your children figure out 5 people that they can trust no matter what. So, mom, dad. As long as mom and dad are trustworthy. I know there's some broken homes out there and some step people, and so really just help your child find people who are safe. A teacher, and of course be really, really discerning when you look at these people, because a lot of times it'll be the people you least expect. So consider doing some research on how pedophiles operate, and just learning some of those things, and look for some of those signs from some of the people who might be in your life, and help your children find people who are safe, and then use the hand, and so they can say, Mrs. Smith and mom and dad and Uncle Joe and neighbor Katie, or something like that, just so they know these are people I can talk to if I have something that's making me feel yucky and unsafe inside, and they'll help me. And then the last thing is early warning signs. I'm actually going to do another YouTube video here on this in a moment, but early warning signs are just having the children feel or pay close attention to how their body's feeling. So are you getting shaky? If somebody says something to you and you start getting shaky, or you start getting sweaty, or your tummy feels yucky, or you just want to run away, those are all early warning signs that something is about to happen, or something is happening that is not safe. And so teach kids to be aware of their body, and to listen to their body, to listen to that gut instinct, and to get out and to get safe, and to find one of those safety people. So there are some tools for you today. I hope they are helpful, and this is a PDF that you can get from the website of Some Secrets Should Never Be Kept. It's actually e2epublishing.info is the website, and it's under the downloads tab. I like it. It's colorful, it's easy to read. Share this with your kids. It summarizes everything I just said. So, way to be good parents. Way to be people who are safe for children. I'm so thankful that you're out there. Have a good day.